She got married at 28, became a director at 30, and lived in a high-end apartment downtown. But she couldn't find even the simplest happiness. Until one day, she suddenly realized true freedom is never about others thinking you're good, but about daring to break the existing rules. Liz's story can make every woman who has ever struggled in life cry until her voice breaks, and then laugh through the tears. In others' eyes, Liz is a winner in life. Her books sell well, she's a popular writer. Her husband, Stephen, is gentle and caring. Everyone envies her, but this happiness feels like an invisible shackle. Stephen often criticizes her in front of others. What troubles Liz even more is the topic of having children. Stephen always wanted a baby, but she never planned to, until she saw her best friend, who just gave birth, gained weight, always busy at parties, and completely lost her freedom. Her friend truly loves her child. Her boxes are filled with baby clothes. But Liz's boxes are filled with geography magazines and travel journals. Her friend seriously told her, "Having a baby is like getting a tattoo on your face. You must be completely ready." That sentence frightened her. Then Stephen suddenly decided to become a teacher, ruining their plan to go on vacation in Aruba. Liz realized she didn't want to give up her career. She didn't want to just be a wife and mother. But when she looked at the home she built with her own hands, she couldn't help asking herself, "Isn't this the life I'm supposed to want?" She became lost. She cried quietly every night and even prayed for less pain. After struggling for a long time, she finally asked Stephen for a divorce. He thought she was just being emotional, until they sat in a law office and he realized she was serious. Liz left him the house, royalties, and pension. Stephen delayed signing, not because of money, but because he was heartbroken. He still hoped she would come back. Watching him wipe his tears, Liz knew that even though she tried to be careful, she still hurt him deeply. After the divorce, Liz moved out and stayed with a friend. To ease her anxiety, she started learning Italian. Her friend encouraged her to start dating again. The new romance was like anesthesia. It made her forget the pain of divorce for a while, but the passion faded faster than fireworks, and the emptiness afterward was heavier. She realized that since age 15, she had always had a boyfriend. She never went more than 2 weeks single. She didn't know how to be alone. Her new boyfriend seemed passionate, but was cold inside, always keeping distance. Without emotional connection, Liz felt like a walking corpse. She tried hard to keep the passion alive, but couldn't. To find herself again, to understand what life really means, Liz made a crazy decision to go to Italy, then an ashram in India, and finally Bali by the end of the year. Her friends begged her not to leave. "You have family and friends here. Everyone loves you." But she felt numb, as if her heart had stopped. Life felt meaningless. She didn't explain further. She packed her bags and left. In Italy, she rented an old apartment. The landlord tried to communicate with her.
Ogni uomo che viene qui non si ferma a dormire la notte.
Having just been hurt by love, she started learning how to live with herself. Italy, the land of romance, food, and beauty, became the start of her awakening. She ate gelato, tried all kinds of Italian dishes, and slowly filled her loneliness with new experiences. The sunshine, the old buildings, the fountains, they opened a new world for her. At a cafe, a woman named Sofia helped her order coffee, and they became friends. Sofia introduced her to an Italian teacher. They often dined outside old buildings, talking about language and history. It was harder than writing, but it made Liz excited again. Soon she started to panic. All she did these days was eat and play. She hadn't written a word. The once disciplined woman now felt guilty. Her friend laughed. "You feel guilty because you're American. You know how to entertain, but not how to enjoy life. In Italy, we rest when we need to. Life isn't just about work." Liz followed her new friends through the streets of Rome. She learned to speak Italian with hand gestures and could order dishes.
Carciofi alla gia, prosciutto e melone e melanzane cotta affumicata.
She let herself go. When a friend was dieting for love, Liz told her, "Do what you want. If the pants don't fit, buy bigger ones." She bought dresses she liked, sat in sunny corners eating simple Italian meals, reading Italian newspapers. Doing nothing, it turned out, could be pure joy. Her friends took her to see the mausoleum of Augustus, once a grand monument, now ruined by war and used as shelter for the homeless. she realized her life wasn't so bad. The world is always changing. Perfection is the real trap. Destruction isn't bad. Change is an escape. True courage is facing the voice you fear most. So, she wrote to her boyfriend and broke up with him. Let's not cling to this relationship. Don't worry about the pain. Life is about seeking better and freer living. Leaving Italy, Liz went to India. The environment was harsher than she imagined. After the divorce, she was lost, so her friend suggested meditation. She came to an ashram to clear her mind. But during her first meditation, she fell asleep. A man from Texas teased her, "You're probably the only one who can sleep through meditation." The Sanskrit words were long and dull. The more anxious she got, the more she ate. People laughed at her appetite. The Texan told her, "You always try to control life. Try controlling your thoughts instead. If you can't, trouble will always find you. Relax. Sit in the garden, empty your mind, feel peace." She tried, but when she calmed down, guilt toward her ex-husband filled her heart. She realized she had hurt him deeply and never got forgiveness. The Texan told her his story. He once drank and drove home, nearly hit his son. His wife saw and divorced him. He missed 10 years of his son's life and still can't forgive himself. "Don't live in the past," he said. "Everyone makes mistakes, but not everyone gets forgiveness. Free yourself first." Liz thought of Stephen's tears during their divorce. She regretted not explaining her confusion to him. Now she mentally said goodbye. "We loved each other deeply. I still love you, so I'll let that love stay. Every time I miss you, I'll release it. Nothing lasts forever." After this, she finally felt peace inside. When she left India, she could finally be alone, no longer ruled by emotion. Her final stop was Bali. A year ago, a healer there had told her she'd travel the world and have 2 marriages. She hadn't believed it then, but now it came true. When they met again, he didn't recognize her until she showed him the drawing he gave her. He said she looked younger and happier than before. Liz meditated daily, explored Bali, and talked with the healer every afternoon. He told her, "Smiling isn't simple. You must smile with your whole body." One day, Liz got into a car accident and hurt her leg. The healer told her to see a doctor named Wayan, a single mother divorced after abuse, now in debt and fighting for custody of her daughter. Liz felt sympathy for them. Later in a bar, Liz met the man who hit her, Felipe. He apologized and insisted on taking her home. He spoke many languages, helped her talk to local vendors, and became her guide. They visited markets, tried new fruits, and compared passport stamps. He had 46, she had 49. He used to be a family chef until his wife left him. Now he sold jewelry in Bali, trying to heal from heartbreak. Liz got along well with his son, who even told his dad, "It's been 10 years. Maybe it's time to start again." Liz fell for Felipe. Under romantic lights, they danced and confirmed their relationship. But love again disturbed her peace. She didn't meditate for 2 weeks and even got sick from exhaustion. Wayan comforted her. That's how love starts. It makes us lose reason. She showed Liz the scars from her abusive ex-husband. They'll never fade, but life still goes on. Liz remembered Wayan's daughter, saying she dreamed of a house covered in blue tiles. Her birthday was coming. Instead of throwing a fancy party, Liz emailed friends not to send gifts and shared Wayan's story. On her birthday, she gave Wayan $18,000, enough to buy a home. They were thrilled to finally have a place to belong. Felipe's gift was a trip to a small island. He said, "My business is here. Your friends are in New York. Distance is hard, so I rented this island. It can be our place without compromise." But that scared Liz. She finally found balance and didn't want to lose it. They argued. Felipe said she was running away from life again, afraid to face love because of the past. After the argument, Liz decided to return to America. Before leaving, she said goodbye to the healer. He asked if she would still meditate. She said yes, it changed her life. She also said she broke up with Felipe to protect her balance. The healer smiled and said, "Losing balance is part of living." That moment, Liz understood. Staying true to yourself doesn't mean never changing. Falling in love can also be a kind of balance. She ran to find Felipe, but he wasn't home. She left a note and went to the pier to wait. After a long time, he appeared. Liz smiled. She was ready now. They sailed together toward happiness.